that, and now it's too late. You shell shocked. And it's two roads: the get back road or to do better and move on and separate yourself. And very few people take the separate yourself route. Because guess what? Now it's time to go spin back. And I'm not gonna sit here like I didn't want to. I'm not gonna sit like those thoughts weren't going through my mind. But something in me, just something was more important in that moment. The experience, the out of body experience I had. Yo, what up? It's your boy Primo, aka Big Preem, aka Mr. Man Cave, Mr. Mel Social Worker. Back with another one, episode 5, man. Sorry for the wait. Me and Hope back with the facts. You feel me? No, it's like, no. Your boy had to get it cut, man. I was looking rough. The snow messed up the schedule, working all that. It's all cool though, man. We back like we never left, never left. Like I always say, man, welcome to the Man Cave Podcast, where we're just here to grow community, grow as men, you know what I'm saying? And listen to good conversation, real topics, real perspective, and just grow as a community, grow and each step day to day closer to becoming whole men. You know what I'm saying? All right, with no further ado, let's get into it. Like I always say, if y'all see me looking down, I try to keep notes so I'm not so I don't start rambling. But yeah. So anyways, 2026, man. How y'all 2026 going so far, man? It's pretty decent for me, man. I hope y'all boys been in the gym. I hope y'all boys been reading. Everything that you said you was gonna do, I hope you've been doing. Now let's keep it stat, right? I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I've been slacking. I'm not gonna cap. I've been slacking. January, and I feel like other people can relate to this, but January has exposed me to me. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. January has exposed me to me, and it showed me how undisciplined I still am, and it showed me different areas of my life that I still need to work on, right? Which is fine. And if you have the same experience, it's fine. But it's February now. You feel me? A new month. It's already month 2 in this new year. So time waits for no man. So hop on your journey and get right. You know what I'm saying? It's already month 2, February. I think believe the 7th, February the 7th. So we got the rest of the year to start back from scratch and go ahead and get it going. So from this point out, we work. I'm back in that gym. I'm back on these books. I've been slacking. I've been getting lazy with the snow, but we back. Feel me? We back. Um, Back with the Booster Awards, man. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. We back with the Booster Award. For those that's new to my channel, for new to my podcast, Booster is Booster Awards are a segment on my podcast where I give flowers and give a shout out to local businesses, platforms, creators, uh, artists, just people that's on their stuff in our community, right? And I want to use this as a way to show that we do have options. Black culture, uh black entrepreneurs, you know what I'm saying, black businesses, the black dollar itself. We do have options to where we can spend our money and create our own, right? And pour back into our brothers and sisters. But at the same time, for those that's new to my channel, Boost is my uncle. I started Booster Awards to in tribute of him. My uncle was an MC when he was alive, when he was younger. Um, and he went by the rap name of Boost. He started a clothing brand called Booster. Boost stands for buying our own style. So kind of like in the same sense like Fubu, but his own brand. So again, like I said, I use this to shout out black-owned businesses and people that deserve their flowers, right? So without further ado, the Booster Award today goes to no other than the Far From Home podcast. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. The Far From Home podcast, man. Shout out to my boy LJ. Shout out to my boy Jackson, man. Great content over there, man. Y'all tune in and support, share, comment, whatever you gotta do. Just support, man, because it's a great avenue for another perspective and great conversation. I love the topics and a lot of the stuff they're doing over there. It's very positive, and it's real conversation. It's real conversation from educated people with undergrad with these two brothers. Very great dudes. So again, the Far From Home podcast, hosted by my boy LJ and my boy Jackson. Man, y'all go tune in there. Ramley for life, man. Spam hashtag WSSU. Comment Ramley if you with the WSSU, man. Shout out to the guy. You feel me? 21 Savage made this post a while back. Well, not that long ago, but a while back. And in a nutshell, he pretty much said F the streets. F the streets, right? And at first when I seen the post, I thought like, yeah, like we finally progressing, we finally moving on from this mentality, we finally about to reshape the black man and the things we've been going through. But in that same breath, I started to see the controversy that the post got and the other rappers that commented on it and pretty much the backlash that he was going through with that. And I feel some type of way about that because how can we progress as a society, as a community of people, if we're still in this trap, right? And I want y'all to understand the people that are saying, "Oh, nah, it ain't f the streets, it ain't this and that." Those are the exact people that, for one, benefit off you staying the same and being stuck in that situation. But also, these are the people that don't have anything else going for themselves, so they need you in this space for them to feel some type of belonging. You get what I'm saying? So we can't. They don't want to get rid of it because that's all they know. That's all they ever become from the. And these are people that are still trying to be the best street dude they could be. These are people that are still trying to be the best gangster they could be. These are people that are still trying to beat the system, not understanding the role that they're playing in this. My fault. Not understanding the role that they're playing in this system, right? So when I say F the streets, right, and I mean that wholeheartedly with my chest, F the streets. But when I say F the streets, I'm not talking about the people. You feel me? I'm talking about the mentality. You get what I'm saying? The repeated cycles that we keep going through. Forget that. You feel what I'm saying? Forget that. I don't desire to have that part of my life or in our culture anymore. And I wholeheartedly mean that, right? But I don't never mean F the hood, F the culture, F because we are the culture. We are the hood. But what I want y'all to understand is the way that we're looking at the hood now is not the lens that it's supposed to be in. You get what I'm saying? The glasses, the lens that we're looking at the streets and the hood is in now, this is not what it came from. This is not what it intended to be. Right? It's changed and it's shaped into how they want it to be now. So yes, F the streets, F the mentality, everything that comes with it. Because what is the streets really giving us? Besides pain. Besides pain. Broken homes. No fathers. What else? No guidance. What else? Jail. Death. Let me keep it stacked, bro. Let me keep it stacked. Put my chair up. Let me keep it a stack, right? Let me keep it a stack. My dad, I grew up with no father. Yeah, so I grew up with no father. I didn't have a relationship with my dad growing up. My dad missed so much of my life because he was incarcerated. Right? And being the person that I am now, I look back at the situation and I can imagine what type of kid, child, younger person I would have been if I had a dad or father figure like in my life at that time, right? And not necessarily my dad because regardless if he was here or not, he was gonna be the same dude. So that might not have been beneficial for me. But at the same time, just a solid male and father figure in my life at the time, right? I can just imagine. I look back and I think back to old classmates and peers that had their fathers on the sidelines, and I vividly remember the difference in discipline and self control in them compared to the boys out here that were growing up with their mothers, right? I could tell a big difference now that I'm older. I could tell a difference. How do you think that? But think about that. How do you think that keeps affecting our lives? No games. Middle school, high school, no games, nothing. No high school graduation, nothing. Thank God he was able to make it to my college graduation. But how many times do we keep having to relive this story? How many of us keep having to share this same story? How many of us start trauma bonding with other people or people we call friends through this same story. How many times? Sorry, I'm up. How many times are we gonna keep reliving these same events? How you think that made me feel, dog? Growing up, no guidance. Everybody can't make it from that, bro. But even looking at it from the other side, right? This is the type of stuff you get into when you go to school, when you don't go to school. Because my father didn't have a GED. He didn't finish. He didn't finish high school. So what other choices do he really have? We're not talking about murder. We're not talking about nothing crazy like that. We're talking about getting caught up hustling. And a lot of times that's what it is, getting caught up hustling, trying to bring a bag home, trying to do this and that, trying to be the provider, trying to stay that, trying to keep that street cred, trying to keep this status. Oh, them folks gonna get you. It's gonna catch up with you. But we're not talking about malicious and just evil people and just downright just bad people. We talking about people that's trying to make a way. But look how much harder you made it on yourself because you didn't finish a certain step, a certain level in life. So when you don't respect the knowledge that you need to gain for yourself, not the white man stuff, the knowledge you need for yourself, because you can't beat the system, you can't beat the game, you can't play the game if you don't know the game. So just look at all this stuff that fathers, sons, and families have missed out on because we want to keep playing this character. It gets to a point. It gets to a point. We're playing a role in someone else's game. And it's working. Whole time you think you a made man. You think, oh, I'm just gangster. I got on my own. Bro, you're playing into their hand. You're playing the character they want you to play. Everything you're doing is designed for you to do. You can't beat the system because you're playing for the system. And let's keep it a stat, right? Your oppressors, the real gangsters. Let's keep it a stat. Everything y'all boys doing in the streets, everything we see in the streets, them white folk doing. Them white folk doing. You claiming your territory, you claiming your hood, right? And guess what? You extorting everything out the spot. That ain't tied to what you got going on, right? So we call colonization. What do we call all this stuff that's going on? What do we call America? Back door. That's what gangster is nowadays. Back door, right? That's what them folk doing, right? Gunplay. That's what them folk doing. That's the stuff y'all claim is gangster. All the stuff y'all doing now. Them the real gangsters, and guess what they do? They don't get caught. Really? They escape the consequences. Do you? Mm-mm. Guess what? It's your design to do that. Everything they do, now they got you in this light, and they're gonna put the blame on you because being gangster, being bad, being this and that was never about being loud. It was never about being loud. That's why they so good at it. Because they got you playing the puppet while they doing the real gangster work behind the scenes. And guess who's gonna take the time for it? You. So who really is gangster as they think? Because Big Meech come a dime a dozen. Larry Hoover come a dime a dozen. And even they sat out, sitting down, getting out, not the same. Whatever. Let's keep it a stat, bruh. Let's keep it a stat, gang. I'm not about to sugarcoat this no more. We gotta talk about this. Because it's old. And we gotta progress. I'm not telling nobody to be no square. I'm not telling nobody to be no punk. Ever. I'm telling you, stop playing into these white folk game. We gonna have our hustlers. We gonna have the people that's whatever. College ain't meant for everybody. School ain't meant for everybody. Suit and tie look ain't meant for everybody. This right here ain't meant for everybody. You gonna have the ruffles. You gonna have the people that do this, that. But stop playing into your white folk system. Is what I'm telling you. And the character that you're playing, the stuff that out loud stuff we doing, all this and that, and fighting amongst each other. That's what they want us to do. Because if we knew who the real robbers was, scammers, the crooks, the pimps, this and that, it'll be no reason for us to fight against each other. And then we gotta talk about the school to prison pipeline. These folk already banking on you to be a failure. They already banking on you to be in the streets. They already banking on you to be gangster. And guess what you do? Play right into these people's hands. Let me tell you this, and a lot of people already know this, but I gotta keep the stat. They say from the third grade, they already start preparing your jail cell. That's crazy. But you know why? And I got a little bit of it written down if y'all see me looking over here. But from third grade, they already start preparing your jail cell. You know why? Because, and this coming from somebody that used to be in education. I'm not a guru, but I know a little bit of my stuff, right? From pre-K to about like second grade, they teach you how to read, right? But when I say teach you how to read, they're literally teaching you how to read, the basic skill of reading, right? From third grade and beyond, now comes into play the word comprehension. So now you're learning how to read and comprehend. But this is where people mess up at. I want people to understand that comprehension is not being able to, the sentence is the cat is black. Okay, I can read the cat is black. That's not comprehension, right? And that's where we mistakenly mess up at. Comprehension is being able to not only understand what you just read, but the correlation. Understand the intent, the message, and the correlation, and be able to reflect that. That's comprehension. I'm gonna read it off here because I don't want to get it wrong. I was taking notes earlier. Comprehension is connecting new information. I want y'all to really understand this. Connecting new information with already existing knowledge, right? So the correlation, like I said, something you already know, taking something you just read and comparing that to something you already know, correlating that, seeing where connecting dots pretty much, right? And using strategies. This is when they start teaching us different strategies to understand the text and whatever, right? But like I said, comprehension is not just being able to read what's on the mind. Comprehension is understanding and being able to apply this, right? So what does this mean, Big Preem? I'm gonna tell you what it means. So from the third grade, if you can't read and comprehend, 'cause you know they give us tests and stuff like that starting in third grade. I don't know if it's still like that now. That's how it was when we was growing up. If you can't comprehend now I'm not saying this out of my mouth, but according to standard, right? This means that that school is gonna end up being too hard for you, and you're gonna end up rebelling. You're going to end up turning to the streets and turning to crime because you're not going to feel adequate enough because school is too hard. Two, this child, you're not going to be able to correlate, aka put two and two together and realize this system and what's really going on, right? Meaning you're going to play into their hands. From third grade, they already see, oh, you're going to play into this game because you can't read between the lines. You can't go down the street and see that it's a Walmart. Okay, I'm in Fayetteville. It's a Walmart over here. It's a plaza over here. Boom. Then you get another city. It's a Walmart right here. A plaza over here. I wonder why is that. But then the prison is in this radius. The jail is in this radius. School is in this proximity. But when you look at the statistics, the area is, you're not going to be able to do that, right? And this is not my understanding. This is what they're deeming to be standard at the time. So they're already seeing that you're not going to be a thinker outside the box thinker, because you can't even retain basic information. Is what they're saying. So from third grade, they already put a battery in your back and started playing this game and creating a jail cell for you. And let's talk about it. Because then when we talk about school, we got to bring up the fact that if we keep it in the stat game, a lot of people gangster started because of swag. J's, jeans, name brand clothes. Can't afford it because you broke. Guess what you gonna start doing? Keep it a stack, bro. A lot of people just wanted to be fresh. They just wanted to be fresh. And the people that knew how to put something together or came to school with certain name brand stuff, that's the lifestyle they live. It's called being hood rich. It's called hand-me-downs. Or like I said, people families just idolize certain stuff. They'll buy you a pair of J's and be late on the light bill just so you can go to school and have that status. Let's keep it a stat. A lot of people's gangsters start off this style, wanting to dress a certain way, and then when you dress a certain way, you take on the characteristics of the people that you're mimicking. Yeah, crazy to think about, but this is really how a lot of stuff started. People just wanting style and to be fresh. Designer belts, J's, chains, earrings, grills. That's how it started. And guess what that leads to? Male approval. And this the conversation that y'all don't like having because when it comes down to it, a lot of y'all boys are thugging, are doing what y'all doing for male approval, for a sense of belonging. Because if you didn't care about what your partners thought or what your gang thought, half of y'all wouldn't even still be in the streets. A lot of y'all still put on that character of a street dude for their approval. Some of y'all can't walk away from what you're doing or what you've been getting into because you scared what people gonna think about you. Yeah, let's keep it a stat, bruh. Let's keep it a stat. A lot of y'all boys can't live in y'all truth because y'all scared of what somebody gonna think about you. A lot of y'all boys can't leave y'all hometown or stop hanging around the people you hanging around or do what you're doing because they fuel your ego. They boost you. They make you feel some type of way. They validate you. And you can't live without that. Because if they turn their back on you, you can't walk alone. So stop saying, oh, I do this. No, you don't. Because if you thugging on your own and your brother and this and that, the only person you got, you're doing stuff for his approval. Because if we both fucked up, maybe we don't need to be around each other. Somebody got to make it, but if you ain't trying to, I got to get away from you. But this gang, so I got to stay around. I done put in work. I done did this and that. I done sold this and that. I can't just leave this alone because I'm a little soft. I'm a little scary. I ain't scared of nothing. I'm a little this and that. Man, you want to better your life or not? Because what you talking about is gay. Just keep it a stat. You live your life for another man is gay. Let's throw that out there since y'all toughen up, y'all straighten up when y'all hear that word. Let's do that then. A lot of stuff y'all doing is soft, bruh. It's soft. And you want another man to pat you on your back and keep telling you, oh yeah, keep going, gangster. You got it, you good. You'll listen to your homie before you listen to your girl. You gonna go outside and hit that lick or sell that bag before you chill in the crib and just, nah, I ain't on that today. The gang got a bigger influence on you than these hoes. What you call that? I'm just saying. But who am I? But who am I, bruh? But who am I? I'm just saying a lot of y'all boys gotta check yourself. Because maybe you're not the man or as masculine as you think you are. You can't stand alone. And everything you do is for men. Oh, I'm gonna wear this because the guys gonna love this one. The guys, even the females y'all talk to. If they're not bad enough for me to bring her around the guys, I don't want her. Gay. Anyways, moving along. We gotta understand what the school to prison pipeline does because like I said, they already started from third grade planning on that. But let's also talk about the other side of it, right? These prisons make money off inmates. And I know a lot of people know that, but for the ones that don't, these prisons make a lot of money off inmates. Don't believe me? Break it down. I got I got a little bit of something for you right here. So It's a program called Pay to Stay. Do your research if you don't believe me. The program called Pay to Stay. They charge inmates for their stay. Yeah, and it's not like a direct, whatever transaction, but yeah, oh yeah, you paying rent, you paying rent, you paying rent, yeah, you paying rent, bro. Yeah, you ain't just going in there and thinking you just I'm gonna just do my time and go. Nah, brother, they gonna benefit off you being there. That's why they want you to keep coming back, right? Let's do the knowledge. So the inmate ratio as of 2026, when it comes to whites incarcerated, 57.1%. When it comes to black incarcerated, 38.3%. Native Americans, 3%. Asians, 1%. Right. Let's keep going. Black men are roughly 6 times more likely to be incarcerated in their lifetime compared to white people. Hmm. Hmm. Question mark, question mark, question mark, right? So let's go back because by number, it says, and we're talking about federal prisons. By number, it says whites 57.1%, blacks 38.3%, Native Americans 3%, Asians 1.6, whites 57.1, black 38.3. But black men are roughly 6 times more likely to be incarcerated in their lifetime compared to whites. Get it yet? I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying it's a game. And you playing right into it because, like I said, the real gangsters, the people that's doing the dirt, people that's doing whatever, they behind the scenes doing what they doing. But who gonna take the fall for it, big bro? You gonna take the fall for it, gangster? Cause you tough like that. You tough enough. You gonna take the rap for. You gonna be real. You gonna close your mouth and you ain't gonna say nothing. Because when y'all doing what y'all doing, and when y'all making record labels and all this and that, we gonna hit y'all with the Rico. Oh yeah, when you got your games and all this going on, and even though y'all fighting against each other, when y'all start making too much money and too much motion going on, oh we gonna hit y'all with the Rico. But the KKK been out here for the longest, and they have gotten lawsuits, but they've been out here for the longest. Why and known, proudly known. Why they ain't getting no Rico case? Oh, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, bro. Let's talk about it, bro. Let's talk about it. If we're gonna keep it a fact, if we're gonna keep facts in the if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it, bro. Why don't folks ain't get no Rico? Been killing, essaying, raping, stealing, everything. Years. Still got some active members now. Years. Rico. How many black people, black artists or whatever, have been on a Rico case, regardless of right or wrong? How many been on a Rico case? How many headlines you seen of black people crimes and what they doing? But as of and do the knowledge, y'all. Don't just take my word for it. Do the knowledge. As of 2026, it says 57.1%. So behind the scenes, who really making up the incarcerated population or whatever? But on the headlines, but see, it's a game, and when you play that character in that role, you still got to pay the consequences, right? So this is not to say that we're still getting locked up, but just imagine if we stop playing into this role, so in the limelight, they see who the ones that's really doing this stuff. Because while we still keep playing this character, they can't look past the veil because they're gonna keep pinpointing on us. I hope I'm making sense to somebody. It's a game. When we gonna stop playing into it, bro? They strip you of male leadership. They groom you and raise you in poor, impoverished communities. They deem you slow and mess with your social emotional, and then they lock you away for money. Why they get money off you going to school? While your folks on government assistance, and then what? You outside selling and robbing and doing this and that, and you think you who you really are? Because you can hurt me, because you can kill me, because you can rob me. That you just oh yeah, I got him gone. We spent that because and I hate to sound heartless. A lot of people have died. People spinning corners every day. Games up in the score every day. Get back every day. Selling stuff every day. Transactions every day. Bags move all this and that every day. And guess what? We still in the same situation as people. Enough is enough, bro. Enough is enough. So let's keep going with the pay to stay, right? When they talk about pay to stay, like I said, it's a form of pretty much getting money back from the money they got to put into like feeding and clothing and all the other maintenance, right? So let me talk about the collection method that they use to get their bread. I told you it's not just a regular direct transaction. Right? Of course, you ain't got no money. You went in there with nothing. You don't got nothing in there. So they garnish your wages. They seize assets, inheritance, stuff like that, right? House, whatever, cars, whatever. Or they could send private collection companies. Guess what that equals? Slave. Because they said this can go on for decades after your release. So guess what you are? Slave. You're a slave. You're forever indebted. You're forever indebted, bruh. You're forever indebted, bruh. Who want to live like that? Who want to keep paying court fees? Who want to keep paying lawyer fees? When the money already slow to come in anyway, right? Just imagine you doing all you can to pay the rent, bring this bag home. You paying lawyer fees. This person going to trial, go home, kick up their feet. They not missing not nan basketball game, baseball game, swim meet, t-ball, pickleball, whatever. They're not missing none of that with their family. But you outside on that block trying to scrape up some bread and do this and that to pay them for not even fighting with all what they got, all their knowledge to get you off or whatever. They just want to get you the best solution in the eyes of the court. Because at the end of the day, these people still work for the court. Let's keep the stat, bro. These people still work for the court. So when we gonna stop? When we gonna wake up and realize this is just a continuous cycle, and it's another form of slavery? They just let you have more control over what you do on a day to day, but you're still benefiting the system. I'm just saying. Now they say roughly 1.8 million people are incarcerated in fed/state, prisons and jails, right? I'll let you do the math because we just said they doing pay to stay, right? And this is nationwide. So if we're getting money out of all of these incarcerated inmates off of X, Y, and Z transactions, oh, we're filthy. Keep them coming. Do what you do, brother. Thank you. Matter of fact, we're gonna drop something off to make sure you got something. It ain't never gonna be no drought over there because we need y'all to keep playing into this system, into this game. Because the money gotta keep coming. You gotta keep the money going. And guess what? You're doing a fabulous job of bringing it in. I hope I'm talking to somebody. Then we gotta get into gang culture, and I ain't even gonna talk too much on that. But we gotta get into gang culture, man. It's corny. It's a sense of belonging. It's another sense of belonging. And it's corrupted now because a lot of people not even claiming and banging the right stuff. So let's keep it stat. It's washed out. It's old, and again, trauma bonded and looking for male approval. Call it for what it is, man. It's very out of a whole game might be two or three real ones. And guess what ended up happening to them? They get jammed and leave the goofies on the street. And guess what the goofies do? Produce more goofies. And it's all water. Even outside of that, right? This is just another form of organized violence that's killing our community, right? And truth be told, it has to stop because I can name at least 10 classmates that are gone from high school. Mind you, I graduated high school like 7 years ago. It ain't been 10 years. 10. And that's the least. Just that graduated from that time span, that died from that time span to now. What do you think that does to communities? Not only your family. What do you think that does to your peers? This is the game that they want us to play. To kill each other, and we're gonna lock up and benefit off the rest. But we're gonna make them think that they're superior or this is something in their identity to keep it going. Because if you knew it was designed like this, you wouldn't keep doing it, gang. You wouldn't. 10 classmates. And that's the bare minimum. That's the least that I can name. 10. Trauma. PTSD. This is the other side they don't tell you about, bro. I got shot in 2023. Keep it a stack with you. My mind just getting back right. PTSD, trauma. It's been time. I couldn't go outside for the longest. Loud noises, big crowds, anything like that, but I cannot do it. I will freak out. Do not want to be around loud noises. I remember I went to the fair one time. I believe I was with my ex at the time. Went to the fair, and you know that machine where you like throw the dart at the balloons and stuff like that, bro. Every time I hear that, oh, oh, and in hindsight, it probably do like I'm being extra or whatever, but bro, I'm freaking out, and like I'm feeling that. That's when you know you far. Like every time I hear that bit, I'm feeling that. Oh, I'm feeling that impact again, but it's in my mind. I'm tripping, right? It's not a good feeling. To this day, it's still hard for me to be in public for a long amount of time because my mind I already feel like something about that. I can't walk down the side of the street without if I hear a car pull up too fast, pull off, whatever. Oh, because I'm thinking like something's about to happen. Nobody wants to live like that. That's not a comfortable life. Constantly have to look over your shoulder or whatever. And I'm talking from the perspective of somebody that's not even deep in the streets, outside, get back, none of that. I got shot at the party. I could just imagine y'all boys that's doing stuff in tit for tat wars, all these local wars and gang wars, stuff like that. I can just imagine the level of paranoia that y'all go outside with, or if y'all do go outside. I've been around homeboys, people, whatever. It's not nobody wants to live like that, bro. Constantly have to watch over your back, ducking and dodging. Anything like PTSD is real, y'all. I bled on so many people after I got shot. And then the feeling of just anger, like why? Why would somebody do that to me? Why? It's a lot of people that ain't been on neither side of the gun that's giving y'all advice and telling y'all stuff. And it's cap. It's cap, bruh. Don't nobody, bruh. Real gangsters. Real gangsters talking about they done threw up, got sick to their stomach on that mission after they finished the job. Stop letting these people get on the internet and just tell you they demons, bruh. It's cap. Stop letting people that's getting shot. They getting on the internet showing you the good days when they feeling it, when they feeling good, when they feeling this and that. They not showing you the lows when you in your room crying, when you looking for answers, when you in the mirror and you see your wound and everything that's come back to you. Those nightmares, those daydreams. They don't tell you about that. But you wait until you experience that, and now it's too late. You shell shocked. And it's two roads: the get back road or the do better and move on and separate yourself. And very few people take the separate yourself route because guess what? Now it's time to go spin back. And I'm not gonna say it like I didn't want to. I'm not gonna say it like those thoughts weren't going through my mind. But something in me, just something was more important in that moment. The experience, the out of body experience I had in that moment, shell shocked me so hard. I didn't even want to. I wasn't even thinking about get back after the fact. Well, after a couple of days after I sat in my crib and really sat myself and thought about the situation, because I just sat here and witnessed myself die on this curb. I just witnessed my spirit speak and tell God I'm not ready. How you snap back from that? How you snap back from that? How do you go back to that? That is a cold and life-changing situation. Y'all are listening to people that's not going through nothing they talking about and get on the internet and cap it. Do you not you have to understand the backlash that comes from this stuff. And aside from my PTSD, do y'all love y'all mamas? The look on my mom, bro. I went to the hospital. They gave me some medicine, and I was out. When I came to, and my mom was sitting in the hospital room. The look in my mama eyes of pain and just like defeat is something that I never want to see from my mama or no woman ever again in my life. Do y'all care about y'all mamas? Or are y'all moms enabling this? I think y'all mothers have to be enabling this. I think that's what it is. Because I never want to see my mama no emotional distress like that again. Ever. Nobody mama should ever receive that call. I'm 2 hours away. Here. She's in Fayetteville. I'm 2 hours away. She get a call. I'm shot, bruh. She don't even really know the situation. I'm going, bro, I'm dead, bro, for real. Let's keep it a stack, bro. God found it in his will to keep me here. Nobody parent should ever get that call. Why do we keep putting generation and generation through this trauma? Do you know what that does? Bro, I'm not even going to say that. I have a friend right now, traumatized, young lady, traumatized. She won't say it, but she says it, but I see it all the time. Traumatized from losing people close to her. Do you know what that does to y'all families? Sisters, cousins, brothers. People grieve for life. People are not the same. I seen a video one time. They was talking about PTA. I think it was Big Bank and somebody. I think it was 21 Savage. They was talking about PTSD, and they were saying how people go to the military and they meet complete strangers. Of course, they go through basic and these months of training and different stuff, and they build a bond. But we talking about people that we've been around since we was in elementary school. We talking about real family. So if their level of PTSD is what it is, just imagine what we actually really going through. That's not something you can just pick up and brush off. That's why we walk around half crazy now. Let's keep it a stack, bro. This has to stop. This has to stop. My uncle died in 2022. I got shot in 2023. Thank you, God. Just imagine, bro, the pain on my mama. And that's something that I didn't even cause. Just imagine the wild boys out here that's actually that's causing stuff. It gotta stop, bro. And it's not no square telling you this. It's not somebody that don't understand. It's not, bro. I come from that, bro. I've been going to school with people that's been on house arrest since we was in 7th, 8th grade, gang. 6th, 7th, 8th grade, gang. POs in middle school. I went to alternative school in 8th grade, met some of the realest people I know, some of the goofiest, but some of the realest people I know. Been in that system since we was little, gang. How you think that turned out in their adult life? How many of them you think didn't get incarcerated in their adult life? Are still not incarcerated now? Bro, people not just saying this to cap you down, bro. This is not a game. It's a game, but this is not for fake. This is reality. This is what's really going on. We have to stop playing in these people hand in their favor. It has to stop. When you realize this is not our story, this is not what we designed, this is not what we designed to do, this is not how we were built, something gotta change. Something gotta change. It's easy to do that. It's easy to do that. It ain't easy to do this, but guess what? I don't care about y'all approval. I don't care about male approval. Because guess what? This mentor role that I play, this podcast, this advice stuff that I do, that's gonna fade. That's gonna fade, and it's gonna fade. I'ma always be around advocating, showing love. Everybody not gonna be doing that. It's gonna be very few of me's in the recent time coming. It's gonna be very few, because guess what? People not gonna care no more. We've been hearing the same stories. We've been reaching out for years and years, even when I was in the BS and I was doing it. I was the class clown. I was a knucklehead. I was the one getting in trouble. I was the one fighting. I was the one doing this and that, X, Y, and Z. They was sitting me down and saying this and that, whatever. I was never no cold-blooded, just gangster out here just toting I ain't doing whatever. But I'm from around the way. I've been in these situations. I've been in these beings. I've been a mentee for these reasons. Because they seen where my life was going. They already labeled me, the people I hang around, the stuff I do, whatever. That's going to fade. That's going to fade because people going to stop caring and they're going to start looking at y'all like bums because it's getting old. It's more ways to get bread. It's more ways to get money. It's time to stop this. It's time to move on. It's time to do something different. This is old. It's watered down. It's washed. And it's exposed now. So if you're still doing this, it's because you want to. And because you want to, it's going to leave you right there where you want to be while the rest of us go and excel and do something different. Because when people like Glorilla, when people like J. Cole, when these different type of people get out of these situations, guess what the people that don't want to do stuff for themselves or want to be stuck in this mentality do? They do what her sister doing right now. They do what Finesse brother doing right now. They do what some people in the Ville doing to Cole right now. That's what they do. Now it's the crab in the barrel mentality. Because instead of looking at people and realizing, okay, this is optional. This is not how life's supposed to be. This is where they want us to be. But instead of taking that as, oh, I'm done with this, you're gonna take it as, man, this is us. This is what I got. I can't, this is whatever. No, man, no. Time out for that, bro. That's over with. That's over with. How many times? How many years? How many generations? It's over with, man. And it's corny. I'm like I said, I'm not telling nobody to be no square. I'm not telling you to be soft. I'm not telling you not to stand on your 10. I'm telling you, make sure whatever you're doing is righteous. Stop playing into these white folk game. Stop playing into this system. It's over with. It's time to be done with it. The ones that's gonna still do what they do, they still gonna do what they do. But guess what? It's not gonna be beneficial. Because that cycle is gonna continue. That prison cycle is gonna continue. That undereducated cycle is gonna continue. That underpaid cycle is gonna continue. Because guess what? You're gonna have people that's gonna conform. Because they can't correlate the successful people in life to the optional circumstances that they try to put us in. They're not going to see the bigger picture. They're not going to put two and two together. They're not going to comprehend what's going on. They're not going to comprehend why what we learn in school don't match what you can go research on the internet. They're not going to comprehend that all these doctor's offices, dental offices, whatever, charging us stuff that we can go buy on TikTok. So why is this not a basic necessity that we need to learn? Capitalist. When is it going to stop, man? When are you going to realize stuff was designed to be like this? When are you going to get it? People not gonna keep talking to you. And I had to learn that myself. But I became the person I am now because I understand how that feels. I understand both perspectives. I see it both ways. My daddy lived that life. I dabbled in it. My friends live that life. I come from that. My high school's in the middle of the hood, bro. I get it. I've been down that road. If it weren't for my mom taking a chance on herself to going to college and us moving to Fayetteville and she doing what she did, I'd probably be in the same cycle. But that comes from getting exposed to more life and also making that choice to not want to stay in this environment. My mom could have stayed in that environment. For those that know Miss Canty, don't get it twisted. Don't get that Dr. Canteen stuff twisted. Uh-uh. A real one. A real one. Seriously. Not seriously. Not to be played with. Don't get that twisted. The woman you see today is because that's intentional. She wanted to do that. Didn't have to. Could have easily, rough one, Tasmanian devil, wanted something different. And the product of her wanting something different allowed her son to experience different. It was in me. My dad was my dad who he is. My mom was who she was. It was in me to rebel and get in some trouble. But at the same time, the seed that she planted, raise a child in the way that she goes, she never depart from it. That part, the seed that she planted, it was there. So when it came to the decision my peers made, it was always something in the back of my mind that was like, my Duke's not gonna like that. And it might have been a rod. She didn't spare the rod. But at the same time, just having the example of somebody that wants better for me, that loves me enough to know, or that lived that to know it is nothing fruitful that comes from that was always, that was always in the back of my mind. Always. So a lot of times where my conscience said, nah, or let me be intentional. God said, nah, in my head, and I was able to listen to that and go the other way. Certain people don't have that in their lives. And that's a true statement. Certain people don't have that in their lives. Some telling them, nah, don't do that, brother. But that's a cycle. That's a cycle we keep being in. Because truth be told, I wouldn't say 1%. I'm the 5% of people that grow up to actually get it and stop. That's what I'm doing. What I'm doing, trying to get some knowledge out here, but at the same time, you gotta want to do this for yourself. You gotta want to do this for yourself. What Mike Epps say, when you go to prison, when you come back from prison, you don't need to be celebrated for what? Especially if you're a repeated offender. For what? For what? You need to learn. You need to learn. And you also need to understand that you're loved, bro. You are. Stop letting people try to twist the narrative to think we're not loved because we broke. Because we broke. No, that's a circumstance they try to get us to grind out of. But love is still there. Why you think the most kids come from broke communities? That's all we got. In love sometimes. Love still there. Love will always be there, right? You're smart enough. You put your numbers together. You made sense out of that. You made sense out of that 3-5 for 2-5, and made sure you didn't mess up your bag. You made sense out of that set. You made sense out of that 7 for 35, 7 for 40. You made sense out of that. So stop saying you ain't. Stop thinking you ain't smart enough. Stop thinking you incapable. Stop thinking you can't do something. You can do whatever you put your mind to. King, brother, gang, you can. Stop letting these folks tap dance on your mind and trick your understanding to make you think you're incapable because you're not, bro. What the book say you made in His image. I'm just saying, bro. Let's talk about it, bro. You are enough, bro. You're enough, and you have options. You have options, right? When we was little, we was cut grass. Go pick up that more. It might be slow, but hey, you got options. $10, Food Line, excuse me, Walmart, Amazon. You got or let's start making our own clothing brands. Let's start cooking. Let's start baking. Let's start plumbing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the hood looked like. Yeah, y'all remember how we grew up a little bit? It was fading a little bit when I was younger, but we still had the back end of it. Yeah, your neighbors, y'all was cool. Y'all knew each other. Yeah, the next door neighbor, she knew you, and she used to look after you, watch you play up and down the street, whatever. Yeah, you remember them days, or older times before me, but older generations. The doctor lived in the neighborhood. The nurses lived in the neighborhood. The candy lady, the daycare, the hood daycare, they lived in the neighborhood. The booster, they came through the neighborhood. I'll never forget barbershop culture when the dude used to come in, newspaper guy come in the barbershop, you feel me, cologne dude, you feel me, of course the dude that bring the barbershop tools and they come in there, I'm talking about right in front of them. Candy, whatever. That was the hood. It ain't like that no more. So like I said, fuck the streets, because it's over with. The mentality, all that stuff we've been doing is over with, man. And we are love. We're royalty. This is not our story. We gotta get our lives back. And this is one area that it starts in. All right. The Man Cave Podcast. Boy Primo. See y'all next week.